What's up, guys and gals? My name is Splattercat, and I'm here today playing the next episode, number 10. That's right, we're finally into double digits with our Sir, You're Being Hunted Let's Play. In the last episode, we had finally made it out to the westernmost island. We were having a look around to see if we could find some of these final pieces of the machine. Now, from what I understand, let's have a look at our inventory here. We've got 3 left on this island, and 10 remain in total. So that means there's probably going to be 7 on the northern island, I believe, is the last one that we haven't taken a look at, although I may have to do a bit of research. To be honest, once games start to spread out along a longer trajectory, in that the game just has a longer duration, I start to forget what I've done in previous episodes. So in this episode, hopefully, I'm really hoping in the next 30 minutes that we'll be able to lock down this western island, and we'll be able to get things done. In the previous episode, we did a whole bunch of sniping, and it allowed us to eliminate a lot of the resistance on this island. One of the things that we had found out is that the sniper rifle, or the hunting rifle as they call it in this game, was very loud, and that put us in a spot where it drew everything down on us, and we managed to kill off a lot of robots in just a huge gun battle. I don't really know if there's going to be anything else going on in this episode other than just sort of walking around looking for stuff. There are some houses to scavenge, some things of that nature, so hopefully we'll be able to get ourselves a little bit of the old theft going. And that wisp is flying across the ocean. He's done here. Farewell! Farewell, Western Island. I of the wisp people will fly over the hill, but then sort of stop. Or maybe just not move very quickly. And it looks like we've got a relic right over... Oh my god, there are so many robots. Look at them all. That's impressive. And because we don't have any hedgerows here, I can't really bait them into any type of gunfight that's going to turn out in my favor. I'm going to see if I can cross this river and get down on the other side before they get within the eyeshot range. The other problem that this causes is if I shoot any of the robots over by that relic, it's going to draw down an unholy shitstorm upon my brow, and my brow is already pretty dirty. I mean, it's been a long day today, so I'd prefer to keep any other refuse away from my brow. Let's see. Okay, so there's 4 of them over there, and maybe a dog? I don't see a dog, actually. I thought maybe I saw one in the back. That does make it so that I probably want to wait until that patrol ends up in a different location before I go down and in here to handle these guys. Do have a lot of bots around. I might think about firing a rifle over by some of these buildings and just kind of see who comes a-calling. You guys had mentioned that the Burgomeisters, or the big thick robots that are in towns, won't shoot at you if they see you. They only bother you if you actually try and steal from the houses. That's an interesting mechanic that I haven't had a chance to validate yet, but it is one that I have put into my overall waistband of knowledge. Let's check the mailbox over here. Nothing. Alright. Maybe check the back door of this house, or the front door of the house, or whichever end of the house we happen to probe first. I think we cleared this place out fairly well, although I don't remember if I've looted this far in. That house over there, I think, is our... Ah, a bunch of rounds. Not bad indeed. I've also got a hare here, also a quail, a coney, and a hare that I don't think are going to be that useful. We've got plenty of food right now for the time being, so we do have matches where I can light up another campfire if I need to. I'm sort of thinking about just running the edge of the island as we always do and seeing if anything comes up interesting that way. Kind of picking off the stuff around the edges and then getting the good stuff in the center bits. The gooey bits in the center of the island later on. Got some bottles here. I think a bottle might be useful. We might have to use a bit more panache. We might have to use a bit more subtlety on this island to make sure that we handle things properly. I'm going to eat that red mushroom, which is going to make me trip for just a moment, but that's alright. I don't want to spend any of the food that I have on me right now. Let me head for the coast, and once we get there, we'll see how things unfold. Still haven't figured out really if the robots regenerate, and they come back every now and again by respawning, or if you can actually clear out an island. My guess is probably to the former rather than the latter, just based on the fact that it seems like the robots just continue to get worse. With how many I killed in that last little gun battle, you would think I would have ironed out a lot of the problems on this island, but... What do we have going on here? We do have some bots over here, mostly in the center of this little villa. So I think what I'm going to do is creep around the edges and avoid conflict, I suppose. I don't really want to get into any gun battles right now. I mean, we have so much ammo that getting into a gun battle isn't that bad. But they do have one of the bigger robots with them, and those guys do that little burst fire thing where they fan the... Oh, they don't fan the receiver, but they fan the trigger with their revolver, so it's just pow, 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 pow. And by the time they get done with that big burst, you find yourself rather full of lead. I think it would be safe to say that your density has increased. They're fairly accurate with it as well, which is slightly terrifying. Big guy is right there. Oh, no. I do not prefer that course of action, friend robot. Or foe robot. Whichever you prefer to be, pal. You come around those bushes, you're about to get a face full of buckshot. I think I'm probably going to have to lay low. We're invisible right now for as far as the game can tell. So let's just kind of enjoy our sunset over here. Or actually, no, that's our sunrise. Things are going to get worse then, before they get better. There's a lot of bots around, and I'm waiting for them to kind of head off back to the left so I can sweep around in this high brush. Okay, so for now I think we should be alright. Let's hold still because that one has the potential to see us. Looks like they've got a fairly sizable hunting party out and about. I don't think they'll be able to see me from right here. Unless he wanders in magically like they seem to do sometimes. Sometimes they just seem to wander right on top of you completely by accident, and you've just got to kind of live with that result. It also seems like they stick roughly together. Maybe think about taking that bottle. Seeing if maybe I could throw it off in that direction. See if I can draw them back that way with a bottle. Yeah? Awesome. Let's be on our way then. We may still get seen, but we've got pretty good cover right now. I'm glad I had that extra bottle around. All I can hope for at this point is that we're far enough away for free movement. The islands are becoming a lot worse. That's one thing I will say in commentary on the things that have been happening to us recently. The islands definitely, it cumulatively gets much, much worse as the game goes on. It almost seems to, not even like multiplicatively, almost exponentially, the robots just seem to explode after you get about 2 islands cleared out. I'm still not confident that I'm far enough away to where I can take to my feet and take off running. I really, really don't want to be chased right now. As opposed to being promiscuous, I suppose. That was a word joke. Let's see here. God, I really wish I could crawl a bit faster. I need to get some, like, meth. We need to find some robot meth and just smoke it like crazy so that we're just slithering around like one of those crazy blue belly lizards that we have over here on the West Coast. Those things are fast as hell if they've been sitting in the sun long enough. You gotta watch out. We have these things called alligator lizards too, which are like bigger versions of the blue bellies. They can kind of trick you. They're a little bit more elongated though. And they're called alligator lizards for a reason. They'll bite you and they can draw blood. They're offensive. They're definitely not friendly. Then again, I wouldn't be friendly either if a giant pink monster came and picked me up while I was trying to sun, so. I'm gonna take my risk right here. Alright, so we're up and moving. The nice thing is we don't really need anything from that village. So that doesn't put us in the awkward position of really, really having to clear it out. We're sort of just scouting around trying to finish the game off at this point. I don't see anything along the edges of the island. I'm really hoping we don't have to get into the underbrush to find anything else. I'm not going to leave this church behind, though. I think what I'll do is I'll get in on this church and maybe see if there's anything useful here, because churches tend to have rifle ammunition and things of that nature, or things of that caliber if I wanted to be humorous, or at least play around with words a bit. And if I could get some more bullets, I could be really, really happy. There is a whiskey here, and our vitality's low enough. I'm going to take the rocks, too, just in case we need to draw them off of our trail. I'm going to drink the whiskey outright, and I'll take the bottle, too. Just because at this point it seems as though getting into a fight is probably not going to be in our best interest. We really, really, really want to lay low at this point. I should probably not run around the hillside drunk with robots with guns around, especially when they seem slightly bent towards destroying me. I don't know what I did to make them so unfriendly. I don't know if I slept with their robot wives or if I like collected their parts. I really need some backstory here as to why the robots are not fans of me. These are not the Asimov robots that I feel familiarized with. First, do no harm and all that. Ah, there's one over there. Let's see if it's got any attendants. It does. And we might think about a way of liberating it stealthily rather than getting ourselves into trouble in any other fashion. There are a lot of reinforcements to be had around here. It's in the water, interestingly enough. I do have rocks. My visibility is a little high, and it's only going to get worse. Let's see if that rock will help us out. Oh, nope. Well then, let me get in behind one of these trees, now that they've seen me. Whew. Put down a booby trap on one side, just in case. I think they're coming around this way. Got that one. And if... Oh. Got that one too. Very low health though. So let's use that really quickly. Our vitality's high enough to where I feel confident that we'll regenerate rapidly and make a quick recovery. Let me grab some of these rags to replace the ones that we just used. Don't need that other bag of mints, but I will get my trap back because that trap actually limited our possibility of dying there by quite a bit. And now I think we should probably hurry and grab this before anything else goes wrong. Crap. It's one of those elongate ones. Looks a little bit like a drink mixer or something. Which, if our machine that teleported us into a different dimension didn't have a drink machine, what kind of teleporting machine would it be? I mean, obviously, oh my god, there's so many out there. I think we may be a tad blocked off in this case. Oh. Okay. Let's bandage. And maybe think about making a run for it. Keeping trees at our backs, hopefully. Serpentining like crazy. Serpentine Babu. Serpentine. I imagine my character's name is probably Babu. Damn. Let's keep on the run. Put a trap down, maybe. And let's lay low. Another one down. Hopefully that won't draw them down from behind me. That would be a really, really big problem. It's probably my best interest to start filtering through and grabbing... Thought I heard... there's a balloon right there. And I am semi-tempted to see if maybe I can blast it. Let me get my booby trap back though first. That other robot we killed down in the gulch here, or whatever the hell this is, this kind of little inlet. Where is he going? He's flying off the other direction. Fantastic. That is very much what I would prefer for you to do, sir, so please piss off in an alternate direction and bother me no more. Lots of ammunition there and a free tea. Maybe put that into my inventory for later. He's got a pheasant. What a robot needs with a pheasant. I think we talked about this already, but do the robots eat food? Maybe that's why they're hunting me. Maybe they eat biological stuff, and that's how they keep themselves fueled, like in an alternate steampunk universe. The robots are fueled by the blood of humans. Kind of like a War of the Worlds type deal going on. Oh, Christ. I didn't even see those ones off there, so we're gonna have to run away again. And hopefully we can get enough distance away to where we can handle this problem. Luckily, we seem to swim pretty quickly, which is good. I think I got him right there. Got that one. There we are. So we got 2 more right there. This whole thing is just turning into a giant gun battle. Part of me thinks that they start to carry more ammunition as you get further along in too. But maybe that's what the developers intend. I don't really know what the intent was for this game, like for it to become like a giant shootout maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna take that other flask of tea. We may have to drop off some of our equipment back at our initial hut. But for now, I'd still prefer to take a look around and see if at least I can get visual on some of the other relics. How many do we have left? Let's have a look here. 2. Okay. That's not so bad before this island's all cleared out. Bunch more robots over there. So let's think about ooh, there's ones over there too. Alright, well that leaves us in a very, very precarious situation. Let's just stay low for now. Hopefully the robots on our right will follow the backside of that hill, and the robots on our left won't come around this way. If that's how this goes down, we should have a fairly reasonable crawl. I mean, we're invisible while moving right now, so it's not even that paramount that this occurs, since we're, for all intents and purposes, sort of like a glass man right now, just completely and totally indiscernible. The last time I crawled through grass, we had this game we used to play when we were a kid, right? And we were kind of cruel to one another, where we would play like Mario Kart, for example, and if you lost, like you got last place in a 4-player Mario Kart game, you had to do a dare, and we would write like a bunch of stuff down on paper. And one of them, and it has to do with what we're doing right now, crawling through the earth, I swear. And one of the things that I drew one time, I did really poorly. Somebody blue shelled me or something, I don't remember. Which is a dick move, by the way, blue shelling your friends. But you can always tell who your friends are by who decides to blue shell you first. But anyways, I got one time where I had to take my shirt off and my pants off, and I had to roll in the grass in the backyard. And on face value, that doesn't seem that bad until you realize that grass gives you tiny little paper cuts all over you, and that turned out to be like the worst thing that has ever happened to me. That was so miserable. Don't ever do that dare. Just walk out. Just be like, nope, I am not going to abide by the rules of the game if that ever happens to you. And that's how I figure, unless he's wearing all clothing right now with like long sleeves and like a ghillie suit, he's just got to be itchy as hell right now from crawling around in the grass like this. I don't see anything off this way. This island seems really big as compared to the other ones. I'll say that about it too. This one seems to be quite large. Got another wisp over there. And I actually like these little areas. Ah, there they are. There's one over there. It says that my boat is back this way. Is that true? Or is it just being weird? Looks like there's some kind of dock that used to be right here. Or at least some kind of poles or something. I don't know why those would go out into the water. Maybe to stop refuse or something. I don't know. I don't live in a seaside area. I've been landlocked my whole life, so I don't know these little strategies that people use to make their lives easier in oceanic places. Our vitality's a tad low. But not low enough from actually, we've got enough food to where I don't care. Let me just use the tea early in case we catch a... If we catch a round upside the head over here, I'd prefer to regenerate quickly rather than slowly. And let's see if we can liberate this object. Post haste. There we are. I prefer to draw down the dogs on myself first. They're a tad easier to deal with. And typically, they don't zigzag or anything. If they really wanted to make the dogs a nasty, nasty combatant, my suggestion would be to think about the possibility of maybe making them zigzag or serpentine to make life a little bit worse for the person being chased. Oh, I only reloaded one round. That's gonna backfire on me. Let me fall back for just a moment because I know those robots are pretty beat up right now. kill that other dog. Maybe keep an eye out. Oh, there he is. There we go. Dropped him from long distance. And is that the last one? I don't hear any more bloopers, so I think we should be okay. That was a little bit of an expenditure of ammunition, but that's alright. Not too hurt about it. Anytime you spend ammunition to get one of these relics liberated, I think you're probably acting in the best case scenario. Like, you really want to make sure that you grab these things whenever you see them, otherwise you'll just be lost. And then we know where the last one is. The last one was in a bad spot where I wasn't sure. Oh, there's another one over there. Well, maybe this is one that I saw earlier and I'm just kind of disoriented. It wouldn't surprise me. Hey, it's a little guy. Good. Let's grab this other one over here, and that should finish up this island, hopefully allowing me to walk back to the boats without getting tagged. And we should be alright. This is one of those cases where I really wish that I had the rifle with me so that I could solve this problem really, really quickly. You guys had mentioned that maybe the wisps go towards the objects, and I think you might be right. They seem to go towards the boats, too, kind of depending. Let me get low and see if maybe... I'm really worried there's going to be, like, reinforcements around here somewhere. Sort of scared of getting into giant gun battles in this game. For understandable reasons. Fire a couple rounds just to get their attention. I was also trying to hit them, so don't think that that was just to get their attention, but... Oh, I'm out of bullets again. I never allow myself enough time to reload, unfortunately. That one's down, and his friend should be going fairly soon to join him in robot hell. There. Oh, nope. Alright, there you go. Finally. Got rid of him. Some bullets, and I'll grab that extra bag of mints. And no bullets on him, so we're kind of out of luck there. Used 6 or 5 rounds. We went into this with 25. Hopefully this isn't like an enormous relic. That would really suck. Okay, good. So we're done with the western island. So I'm going to make my way back to the boat as quickly as possible because the game doesn't autosave or anything like that. So if anything goes wrong, like the game crashes, I have to redo all of this, which would be weak. But I actually probably wouldn't film it. I'd probably just upload this episode and then just do it again, kind of back of the envelope style. Then we'd pick it up where the next episode's at. But let's make our way back to the boat, and I think that's where I'll break off the episode. Hopefully we don't have too much resistance on our way back. We do have a lot of stuff to carry around with us, though, which is unfortunate. I do want to bring the rifle with me for the final island. That leaves us at 10 remain. Oh, that's because I haven't turned them in yet. Okay. So how many do I have? I have 4 on me right now. And I don't think I stashed any in the hut. I'm pretty sure I picked them all up, but I will check the hut before we leave here just to make sure. I think I know which hut I stashed everything in. Sometimes I have to rewatch these episodes before I put them up online or before I record again because I forget where I was at. I legitimately like lose track of what I was working on. Hopefully we can't drown. And hopefully we don't get stuck behind this building again like we did before, but I'm really, really not stoked about cutting through that forest. I prefer to keep myself out of wooded areas because that seems to be the #1 spot through which I get shot. And that is not something that I want to celebrate or encourage. Robots, you hear that? Do not shoot me when I'm out in the woods. It's already bad enough. I've been like, we haven't slept. It's been like 14 days since we started this series. My character hasn't slept once. It's been surviving on tea, tobacco, and hallucinogenic mushrooms. It has been a rough week for my character. And being shot at through the woods just makes the whole thing that much worse. It looks like they're still occupying that locality. They haven't wandered or strayed too far from where we began. And that's good. I'm really happy with the way this episode turned out. I was kind of worried that we wouldn't be able to find all the relics in this episode, and that I'd have an episode where I'm like splicing things together, and we're going to multiple islands in one go. But no, we have accomplished our goal. Sir, they tried to hunt us, but they just couldn't handle our slipperitude. It's a word I just made up to describe how slippery we are. Slipperitude. Of the property pertaining to the property of being slippery would be how I would define it if I had to be good old Webster there. Homo sapiens slipperanus, if I wanted to be Linnaean about it. Kind of funny. I'm not an anthropology guy, but I do have an anthropology class this semester, and my teacher calls Linnaeus giggles. Or no, it's not Linnaeus. He calls Linnaeus Funhouse or something like that because he seems like he was just like a really boring human being. Like he just wanted to classify everything and give everything a name. I forget who he said it was. It was some anthropologist that came up with some doomsday theory about how we're going to eat all our food and then production is going to outrun our breeding habits. Or I'm sorry, breeding is going to outrun our production habits because production is arithmetic or something like that. I forget his name though, but my teacher calls him Giggles because he has a doomsday theory. I wish I was known for a doomsday theory. Please say you don't see me. Gut, sehr gut. You do not see me, robot. Cease and desist. Live and let live, I just want your relics. Technically, I just want my relics. These greedy robots, though, are trying to swipe them. Not quite feeling brave enough to make a run for it just yet. Lots of bloopers around here. Alright, let's go. Hopefully I can get in behind some of these rocks out here in the ocean. And once we get to there, I think we're pretty much home for... Oh, they're behind me now, too. Alright, so they're guarding the boat, sorta. Oh, they're behind the house, too. Wow, there are a lot of robots around. This could get hairy. Or... I don't know if you can use hairy as a term when robots are involved, because robots aren't hairy. This could get metallic. There we are. If we ever got into a war with robots, I feel like we'd come up with a lot of unique slang to describe the robots. Fairly well hidden, but I don't think I can take off running just yet. And those ones, hopefully, they don't play peekaboo before I can get myself across the water to hide myself. Come on, you can crawl faster. I believe in you. I believe in you. You can make it. There we are. Definitely some hardcore bleeping going on. More bleeping than the FCC. For those of you that don't live in the States, the FCC is the group of people that finds you if you say the F word. If you slip up and swear, when I used to do radio, if you slipped up and swore, usually you would beep it before it got there because you have like this playback machine that makes everything run on a 5-second delay so that if you swear, you can just, your producer will be sitting there and he'll bleep it out for you so you don't have to worry about it. So really, you can get away with swearing really as much as you want on the radio so long as you bleep it. But if you slip and you miss, which people do on occasion, it's like a, well, if the FCC hears it, you get like a $2,500 fine or something like that. Standards and practices. The Knights of Standards and Practices. That's basically who the FCC are. Which is kind of foolish, but, you know, apparently language is worse than violence. I don't know. I don't decide these things. Please don't see me, robots in the distance. Just go home. Be happy. Be with your robot families. Assemble a new child. As I walk back to my rickety boat and hope to escape from you. I think this little hut over here is where I stashed all my killer gear. We'll have a look and see if there's any other relics in there because I really, really, really don't want to make multiple runs. Am I clear? I still hear bleeping. I think I'm going to save first, but what I will say is my name is Splattercat. Thank you for joining me here in the Nerd Castle for another episode of Sir, You're Being Hunted, a very fun game. In fact, one that surprised me. For the price point, people have said that it's a little expensive, and for an alpha test, I tend to agree. Like, $20 seems a little high for an indie project, but I will say this. I've gotten about 15 hours of gameplay out of it. I've been playing on the side, I've been playing with you guys on film, and I have enjoyed it, so it's $20 that I haven't looked at just wistfully. I haven't been like, well, I could have bought chicken strips with that, but unfortunately, the money is spent. I'll see you guys in the next episode, and take care out there, everybody.